Greetings and good evening from Freedom High School. We're in Freedom, Wisconsin. It's our Cellcom varsity basketball game of the week. A big Northeastern Conference rivalry showdown. We have the number 2 Freedom Irish hosting the Little Chute Mustangs. How you doing, everybody? I'm Brett Christopherson with USA Today Network Wisconsin and the Post Crescent. Happy New Year. It's been a few weeks since we've done one of these games. Great to be back at it, and great to kind of settle in to what should be a fun 2.5 months for us of high school basketball, both boys and girls side. Take us all the way through to the sectional championship and get ready for state, but that's a little bit down the road. We have a great one here tonight, as I said, at Freedom. One of the best teams in Division III, ranked number 2, Freedom, led by Donovan Davis, one of the top sophomores in the state of Wisconsin. Looking forward to watching him play. And a Little Chute Mustangs team that just last week was also ranked in the top 10. They were number 9. Little Chute falling to Kohler in the Kohler Holiday Tournament in its last matchup, knocked them out of the top 10. But a team led by 6'6" senior Nolan Jakubek, so 2 of the top big guys in the league going at it tonight. Hanging out with me, actually not hanging out with me tonight, Ricardo Arguello, fellow member of our stream team. It's his birthday tonight, or today. He turns the big 5-0, so he's celebrating with his family and friends. Ricardo, happy birthday. Welcome to the club. It all goes downhill from here, let me assure you of that. Also missing tonight is Jim Rosendick. Jim Rosendick, we call him Rosie, our guru when it comes to technical stuff, our camera guy. He's busy tonight, and but he'll be back with us next week as we get going, for Clubhouse Live and our next Varsity Game of the Week live stream, which we'll tell you about later tonight. But had to go to the bullpen. Reaching for the burly right-hander, helping us out once again is Post Crescent and USA Today Network Wisconsin sports editor Mike Sherry. Mike, thank you for hanging out with me tonight. I couldn't do this by myself. I know you're going to run the cameras and also give us some of your thoughts on this matchup, but thanks for being here. This should be fun.
It's going to be fun, Brett. It's cold outside, but it's hot in this gym. I'm telling you, there's a lot of people in here already. 2 great teams, 2 great rivals. The county ensign is down in the crowd over there on the Little Chute or Freedom cheering section. Has the county ensign down there. I can see it.
Okay, yep. They play for that in football, don't they?
They play for that in football, but the sign is here, so it's should be a great game. I'm glad to be here. Like you said, we're a little short-handed tonight, but thanks to your all-around skills, we're going to be able to pull this off, I think.
Well, we'll see. All right. We don't pull anything off till the zeros are on the scoreboard and we're all wrapped up. But this is one of the best rivalries, I think, in our coverage area. 2 communities, 7 miles apart, maybe just down County N, and it's fun when these 2 schools match up regardless of the sport, because typically they're among the tops in the Northeastern Conference in whatever sport it is, and that's the case again here tonight. You have a Freedom team that's undefeated in conference play at 5-0. Little Chute coming in at 3-0, a big early season matchup. And, they're out here in droves. This is standing room only. Great to see the field house all packed and ready for this one. I tell you what, I'm going to read some game notes, Mike, and I'll let you handle the camera and all that good stuff. I'm going to start with Freedom. 8-1 overall, 5-0 in the Northeastern Conference. The Irish are ranked 2nd in this week's SwissSports.net Division III State Coaches Poll, and they're coming off a 71-49 loss to Slinger last Friday. Their first setback of the season. That was a non-conference matchup that was part of the WBY shootout down at Concordia University in Mequon. Slinger, by the way, ranked 6th in Division II. Donovan Davis, we're going to hear about him throughout the night. He led Freedom with 18 points on 7 of 14 shooting. He also grabbed 8 rebounds. Drew Kortz, another sensational player. He was next with 16 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. He shot 6 of 14 overall. Caden Vandenberg chipped in with 11 points and was 3 of 6 from 3-point range. Slinger out-rebounded Freedom. If this is right, Mike, 33-19, hard to believe. Shot 51% of the field. Owl standout Jack Conan, a 6'5" sophomore, who, like Davis, one of the top sophomores in the state, in his class, I should say, finished with 12 rebounds as well. Conan has scholarship offers from Iowa State, Marquette, and Western Illinois. We'll tell you about who Donovan Davis is, who's after Donovan Davis as well later on tonight. Irish struggled from distance, shooting 6 of 28 from beyond the arc. This was the second matchup of the season, by the way, between Freedom and Slinger. The Irish topped the Owls 70-55 in the season opener back on November 30th. On the season, Davis averaging an even 25 points per game. That leads the NEC. He's shooting 67% overall, 38% from three, 71% from the line. Courts is next at 20.1 points. That ranks third in the conference. He's shooting 49% overall, 36% from distance, 71% from the stripe. Vandenberg is third in scoring at 14 points per game. He's shooting at a 47% clip overall, 43% from beyond the arc, and his 26 triples lead the team. He's also a perfect 10 of 10 from the line. Davis and Courts, the top rebounders at 10.4 and 7 per game respectively. To no one's surprise, Davis is the league's top rebounder. Courts is 3.9 assists per game, lead the way in that category, and that ranks third in the conference. As a team, Freedom is shooting 49% overall, 34% from three-point range, and 68% from the free throw line. Opponents are shooting 37% overall and 27% from three-point range. Irish also out-rebounding their opponents 30.9 to 26.2 and averaging 12.4 steals per game. And finally, looking at the scoreboard, Freedom is averaging 78.4 points and allowing 52.6. How about those 5-2 overall and 3-0 Northeastern Conference Little Chute Mustangs, Mike?
Yeah, Brett, the Mustangs are coming off a 67-48 loss against Kohler on Saturday in a non-conference matchup. That was the championship game of the Kohler Holiday Tournament. The loss knocked Little Chute out of the top 10 rankings. The Mustangs had been ranked 9th in Division III. Kohler, by the way, is ranked 7th in Division IV. Nolan Jakubek paced the Mustangs on a cold shooting night overall with 8 points. He also had 5 rebounds. Jacob Verhagen and Rashad Mann scored 7 points apiece for the Mustangs. Little Chute was just 19 of 64 overall from the field for a 30% shooting clip. That included just 5 of 22 from three-point range. They were also out-rebounded 41 to 25. For the season, Jakubik is the team's top scorer at 16.1 points per game. He's shooting 57% overall and 79% from the free throw line. Cooper Effa is next, averaging 8.3 points per game. He's shooting 42% from the field. And Verhagen is third in scoring at 7.7 points per game. Effa and Jakubik are the leading rebounders at 6.4 and 5.6 per game, respectively. And Effa leads the way in assists with 5.7 per game, which is leading the Northeastern Conference. As a team, Little Chute is shooting 44% overall, 28% from three-point range, and 67% from the free throw line. Opponents are shooting 42% overall and 33% from three-point range. The Mustangs are also out-rebounding their opponents 30.4 to 24.6 and averaging 12.3 steals per game. Little Chute is averaging 64.9 points per game and is allowing 57.1 per game. After tonight's game, Brett, the Mustangs get right back in action tomorrow at Sheboygan Falls with a non-conference matchup scheduled for 5:30 p.m.
All right, there are your game notes, Freedom and Little Chute. Both teams on the floor getting ready for this fun Friday night matchup. Want to thank our season sponsors, Cellcom and Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear. Keep more dollars in your pocket when you join Cellcom for a limited time. Save $360 on select plans when you keep your current phone. Visit Cellcom.com for details and get your team, club, or business name out there with Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear. They customize products specifically to fit their customers' needs. Custom embroidery, screen printing, and graphic design. Cooney's does it all. Visit them online at Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear.com. Warm-ups are done. Both teams heading to the bench. We'll meet the starting five here in the moment. I want to thank Athletic Director here at Freedom High School, James Finster. Man, rolling out the red carpet, taking great care of us tonight, even bringing us a nice little snack tray as well, so we appreciate the hospitality by James and his crew.
Well, he probably thought Ricardo was going to be here, so that's why he brought half the concession stand upstairs with him. We got hot dogs, we've got popcorn, we've got some candy bars, we got some drinks to choose from. Thank you, James Finster, for taking care of us.
Absolutely. Great to be here. Really great setup up here as well.
It's kind of hard to talk, though, when you've got all this concession stand food in your mouth, though.
All right, national anthem coming up first, and then we will meet the starting fives for both squads in a moment.
Boys basketball NEC matchup featuring the Little Chute Mustangs and your Freedom Irish. Little Chute High School, Freedom High School, and WIA require good sportsmanship and education-based sporting events. Attendance at interscholastic activities is a privilege with the expectation to exhibit positive and respectful behavior. For the enjoyment and respect for all in attendance, your cooperation in demonstrating the high ideals of sportsmanship is expected and greatly appreciated. At this time, with those who are able, please rise, remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Good job by the Freedom Pep Band, our national anthem. Man, I just can't get over this crowd. Fantastic crowd. Stuffed on both sides. Love it. Love to see the support. And thanks to everybody joining us tonight online. Let's meet the starting fives. First for the Little Chute Mustangs, a 6'1" senior forward, number 2, Jacob Verhagen. A 6'2" junior forward, number 23, Cooper Afa. A 6'6" senior forward slash center, number 24, Nolan Jakubik. A 6'1" senior guard, number 33, Dayton Magnuson. And a 6 foot senior, a guard forward, number 34, Trevor Verhagen. So we have Jacob Verhagen, Afa, Jakubik, Magnuson, and Trevor Verhagen for Jacob Van Roy's Little Chute Mustangs. All right, for the Freedom Irish, a 5'9" sophomore guard, number 2, Cal Calhoun. A 6'2" senior guard, number 3, Andrew Wazalowski. 6'1" sophomore guard, number 4, Caden Vandenberg. A 6'1" senior guard, number 5, Drew Kortz. And a 6'8" sophomore forward, number 24, Donovan Davis. That's Calhoun, Wazalowski, Vandenberg, Kortz, and Davis for Andrew Gibbons, Freedom Irish. And I'll be very interested to see how you stop, or how you at least contain, slow down Donovan Davis and his 6'8" size.
All year, Brett, Coach Gibbons has talked about, yes, Donovan Davis is a great player, but he's not the only guy on this team, you know. And, Drew Kortz is off to a tremendous start. Caden Vandenberg is off to a tremendous start. So he's quick to point out that they are way more than just a one-man show.
Yeah, and you see Davis winning the tap, and Little Chute playing a zone. kind of a staple, right, for those Mustangs programs, a 2-3 zone. But you're right, Courts has been sensational and one of the top guards, maybe the top guard in this Northeastern Conference. Good patience as Freedom tries to work through, find a soft spot in that zone. There's Davis going hard, baseline. 3 Mustangs defenders collapse, but that nice kick out, and that's number 4, Vandenberg with the triple. Mike, you said it. There's more than just Donovan Davis. And Davis doing a good job of making sure he didn't try to force the issue with 3 defenders on him. Just a kick out, and it was a wide open 3. Yeah, Davis knocked it off of the knee of Jacob Verhagen. So turnover. You look at Donovan Davis, 5 double-doubles so far this season. 17 rebounds is a season high. He had that in a win over Slinger back on November 30th.
I think he had 6 dunks in a game earlier this year. I think against, was it Captain Memorial at the Rick Majerus WBY shootout?
That's a lot of dunks. And I'm sure there's another deep 3 for the Irish. That one off target by Vandenberg. Now here come the Mustangs quickly down the floor. Tough man-to-man defense. Let's see how the Mustangs can attack that. Nice move by Jakubek. And Jakubek, one of the top bigs in the conference, showing off some nice fancy footwork along that baseline. Freed himself up and a good bucket. Nice start for Jakubek. Loose ball, Mustangs get it. Defense forcing a turnover. Here they come. I thought maybe instead of bounce pass inside, and they'll just reset. Looked like number 23, Afa, was thinking about a triple. Afa, a really good athlete for Little Chute, a good track athlete. There's some talent, Mike, on both sides in this one. And you can see why both teams have picked Freedom, the pick to win conference by our friend Mark Miller. There's a triple, and there's Afa.
Brett, no easing into this game. Both teams coming out with some great defensive intensity.
Yeah, Freedom picked first and Little Chute picked second, so a battle between, and that's how it so far is in the conference, playing out here in the early stages of this season. A nice spin move off the glass. That was a good look. Verhagen with the rebound. Kick out. 3 from the top. And that's number 33, Dayton Magnuson. So a pair of triples for the Mustangs. 8-0 run here after that three-pointer by Vandenberg for Freedom. Jakubik picks up his first foul of the game. Triple from the top, and that's Courts. He's kind of sizing that up, Mike, eyeing it up. And that's a big bucket for the Irish.
Good ball movement there by Freedom. Got the ball to the wide open guy.
Oh, tough take, short on that one. That was Afa. Stolen, here he comes. Wow, good hustle there by, is that Cal Calhoun, just flying down the floor. The sophomore guard knocked it off of Afa's knee, so Freedom keeps the ball and down 2 as we look at our Cellcom and Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear scoreboard. Good to be back doing these games of the week. It's been a few weeks. Had to get through the holidays and some downtime. Hope everybody had a happy holiday. Whoa, tough take by Davis, and he's fouled. Afa picks up the foul. And Davis a chance for the three-point play with this free throw.
It's going to be hard to stop that if he takes the ball to the basket with that strength and that speed.
Yeah, I mean, we streamed a game last year here against FBL. Davis, a freshman, of course. Looks like he's filled out a little bit. So all tied up, and we're going to travel along that baseline. Both teams really defending hard, and again, you can see the speed and the athleticism. This should be a barn burner, hoping for a good game in this Northeastern Conference battle.
Yeah, three sophomores in the starting lineup for Freedom. They obviously Davis had all the varsity experience last year, but those guys aren't playing like sophomores.
Well, Ricardo and I have talked about that. Maybe you and I have as well. It's amazing how little of a ball fake there, rims out. That was a good look by Caden Vandenberg. Amazing how even you can go from 8th grade now and just play varsity basketball. I mean, that is just crazy. Never used to be that way. I think we talked about that, right? You would, there's a turnover, going to go back to Little Chute. You used to have to play a freshman season, and then a JV season, and then your varsity season was your junior and senior years. And it just isn't that way. These kids are so skilled nowadays.
Yeah, they play so much ball all year long. We've talked about it, whether it's club teams, travel teams, or just, playing on their, with their homeschool kids. They're playing all the time.
Oh, tough team. Whoa. High off the glass. That was a good take by Bryce Lamers, number 10, and another steal. Boy, Little Chute defense. Afa going to take it up and can't get it to fall, but the putback, and that is Bryce Lamers. Little spark plug off the bench for the Mustangs, and Little Chute now up by 2. Looking at Lamers, 6'3" senior guard, showing some hops and some athleticism as well. You know what I like about this zone defense, Mike, is it's active. Sometimes you see teams camped out in the zone, sitting in the zone. It gets real lazy. And not this Little Chute zone. It's really become a staple of this program under Jacob Van Roy. Up and under by Courts. Athleticism shown there. Just couldn't get the fall. Now you got 5-on-4. Jakubek couldn't keep it. And here comes the Irish. Courts knocked away, and he's going to go to the line, I think, fouled by Lamers. Boy, get a little helter-skelter there.
Yeah, Brett, you talk about the zone. I've heard coaches say you actually, if you're doing it right and playing it right, you actually have to work harder to play a zone defense sometimes than you do man-to-man. So.
Yeah, I've said this before. Jack Bennett, of course, the legendary UW-Stevens Point men's basketball coach, won a couple national titles during his days with the Pointers. We've talked about that. And he said, a really good zone defense that played right is rooted in man-to-man principles, and you're seeing that on display here with this Little Chute defense tonight. As Courts hits the first, he's got 4 now. That really kind of struck me. He mentioned that a long time ago. I never really thought about that, but you're right. Just because you're in a zone doesn't mean you just be lazy and kind of sort of slide. No, you get a player in your zone, you become a man defender at that time. And
not me. When I played and we were playing zone, I'm like, yes, I get the rest on
I
get the rest on the defensive end.
It's fun to watch a good zone like that. That's kicked by Davis when they are in sync, in unison. Remember those Jim Boeheim, Syracuse Orange defenses? Those 2-3 zones were always so tough to crack because they were always so active and long. And
yeah, there's been others, but Syracuse with Boeheim, like you said, that was a staple forever.
Sure what happened there between Davis and Lamers. You hear the crowd kind of oohing and on, but refs say play on. 10-10, the tie almost knocked away by Courts. As we look at our Cellcom Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear scoreboard, off to a fantastic start in this one. Vandenberg with 3 for the Irish, Courts with 5, Davis with 2. Little Chute so far, Lamers with 2. There's Afa letting one fly. He's got 3. Jakubik with 2. Magnuson with 3 as well.
Yeah, like we talked about, both teams, Freedom coming off the loss to Slinger and Little Chute coming off the loss to Kohler. You can tell that both of these teams are just really excited to get back in the gym and kind of put those losses to rest.
Chomping at the bit, right? Getting through that holiday stuff, that's always a challenge, isn't it? Because you're playing some of these tournaments, you're playing some non-conference. Some of them are really good teams. Obviously, that WBY stuff, playing a really good Kohler team as well for Little Chute. But it's just nice to play some conference teams, get into that rhythm, get into that grind, and see where it takes you and see how much better you can get as you get ready for tournament play. Three-pointer, no good. Rebound going up. Mustangs have it.
Well, and it certainly doesn't hurt that your first game back is against your rival from the conference too.
I'm impressed by how both teams really open it up. No laziness, no kind of walking the ball up the floor. They're getting out in transition. Great Division III battle. As I said, Little Chute was ranked number 9 in the state coaches poll last week. Knocked out of it with that loss to Kohler. So you can tell, though, Mike, pretty close to being a top 10 team.
Yeah, and they're playing like it right now, for sure.
Yeah, these are two fantastic teams, well-coached teams. Jacob Van Roy in his 7th season with the Mustangs. Andrew Gibbons doing great work in his 2nd season now with Freedom. Oh, nice little footwork there by Lamers. Just couldn't get it to fall. Kind of froze his defender just using the pivot foot. But look how quickly the Irish down the floor. Good defense by the Mustangs to get back. And a three-point shot, no good. That was number 3, Andrew Wazalowski, the 6'2" senior guard. (10-10) the score, nearing the halfway point of this first half.
If you're just joining us, this is the second game of the girls-boys doubleheader with Freedom winning the first game against Little Chute in the girls' side.
Yeah, kind of liking these doubleheaders, right? We've streamed a couple of those already this season, and more schools are doing that. Jumper, no good. That was Jacob Verhagen on the miss. Davis bringing it up the floor. Now he kicks it over to Caden Vandenberg, who has it. Just kind of brings more energy, these double headers, more crowd size. You don't have to split up the crowd. I think they're gonna get an offensive foul on Donovan Davis. And you can see number 33, Dayton Magnuson, clapping because he drew the foul. Davis not really appreciating that too much.
I couldn't tell, Brett. Did he push off, or did he just kind of lower the shoulder a little bit?
Hard to say from up here.
Yeah, I mean, he's so big and strong that just any contact, he's gonna move people with his shoulder. It's only his first foul, though, so.
I love this. I know I said it in the open again. This is really one of the top rivalries in the post-Crescent coverage area. I mean, these close communities, good at a lot of things, and there's a bank shot. Nice baseline drive by Verhagen, his first bucket of the night. 5 players now have scored for the Mustangs. This is just good stuff. Oh, and they're going to get an offensive foul. That's number 2 on Donovan Davis. Rashad Manns, the senior, drawing that foul. Davis doesn't like the call. And now Coach Gibbons has a decision to make. Does he keep his star player out there with those 2 fouls? You can see Gibbons talking to the official below us, trying to plead his case. I don't think the officials are going to change their mind, but for now, Donovan Davis going to stay in the game.
You know who did like that call was Magnuson. He was barking to Davis after just like he was after the first foul was called on him.
Definitely some intensity in this one. Again, rivalry game, and you know that these kids have played each other quite a bit over the years, coming up through the youth ranks as well, so they all know each other. I'd say, you think like in the Fox Valley Association, Kimberly Kaukauna, or Appleton North, Kimberly, right? I would compare that. Nice little 15-footer, 15-foot pull-up by Jakubek. I would put that up there as far as rivalries. Little Chute Freedom as well.
Oh, I would agree.
Everybody gets up for it. Communities always come out. And a 4-point lead now for the Mustangs. Davis, free throw, no good. Free throw, I should say a shot from the free throw line. And good ball handling there by Manns. Nearly stolen twice. Bounce pass inside, Jakubik. I think he's making that move maybe a little bit too fast. Didn't secure the ball between, squeeze that orange, as they say, and knocked away. So turnover, Freedom ball, and I think we're going to get a timeout. Probably a good timeout to calm things down a little bit as well.
Davis stopped to talk to the official there a little bit as he was leaving the field, leaving the court. Just wanted to kind of get a little clarification on what he was doing wrong to get those offensive fouls called on him.
Full timeout gives me an opportunity to let everybody know we'll be back at it next Friday night. A big Fox Valley Association boys basketball matchup as Appleton North hosts Kaukauna. We're going to be at Appleton North for that one. The Lightning are currently ranked number 7 in this week's WisSports.net Division I state coaches poll, while the Ghosts are ranked 8th. So that's going to be a great battle. Live coverage will tip off at approximately 7:15 p.m. And you can access our previous Game of the Week live streams on our USA Today Network Wisconsin websites. Just go to the sports section and scroll down until you see the Watch Our Varsity Game of the Week Prep live streams link. Looking forward to that one as well. That'll be a good game.
Be a lot of talent on the court that night, too. Both teams very deep and talented rosters, for sure.
Appleton North really did some nice work at the WBY. Some nice wins for the Lightning and Chris Kellett. Of course, Mike Shallow, the dean of the Fox Valley Association among boys basketball coaches. Kaukauna off to a great start. You know who else is playing good basketball in the FVA? It should come as no surprise, but how about the Neenah Rockets? What Lee Rubbus continues to do with Neenah. I mean, they keep graduating guys, and they don't seem to miss a beat.
Every year, mid-January, late January rolls around, and there's Neenah.
Yeah, girls side, boy, Kimberly looks dominant, don't they? A paper maker. Now they have Kate McGinnis back, their star. Belmont recruit.
And Bentley Drought as well. We kind of returned the same time that McGinnis did. So
a deep team just got really deep. Now, three-pointer, no good. And Jakubik with a tough rebound. Donovan Davis, Mike staying in with those 2 fouls.
Yeah, and he was fighting for the rebound down there. He's not shying away with those 2 fouls, like you said.
I like the pace that Little Chute's playing with offensively, really doing a good job of spreading the floor. Courts, you can see his athleticism. One of our top overall athletes right in our coverage area, nearly with a steal. Sensational quarterback for the Irish as well, and a foul, 2 shots coming up.
And defensive back, too. Yeah, Courts did it on offense and defense for the Freedom football team this fall.
So Trevor Verhagen, number 34 at the stripe. 6-foot senior guard forward combo.
Got to get Donovan Davis on the football field in the fall. Throw some lobs up into the end zone to Davis there.
He'd be a nice target, wouldn't he? But to finish that thought, offensively, Little Chute doing a good job of spreading it, not staying stagnant. The ball's never staying at one spot very long at all. Everybody's moving, guys without the ball moving, setting screens. Good stuff to watch. Verhagen 1 of 2 from the free throw line. First trip to the stripe for the Mustangs, and Little Chute now with a 5-point lead. Mike, I believe that's the largest lead of the game for the Mustangs. Davis, tough take. Oh, what a finish, and an acrobatic finish at that. I didn't think there was any chance that Davis was going to get that one to fall using the glass, and it is through. Afa going to let it fly from the wing. Good closeout by Courts. I think he altered that there at the last second. Turnover. Mustangs have it. Left hand, no good. Courts with the rebound. And Courts flying down the floor. Watch this. Off the glass and count it. What a pass and what a finish. I thought Davis was thinking dunk and then somehow altered with the defense coming in and somehow gets it to fall, showing his skills and athleticism. What a basket chance for a 3-point play.
Yeah, I thought the same thing, Brad. I thought he was going up for the dunk and just too much contact for him to elevate and throw that down, but still a great finish.
And right there, seeing why he's one of the top sophomores. I think rated number 2 right now by WisSports. 7 points for Davis. And a 5-0 run for the Irish has tied this up. with 6:46 to play as we look at our Cellcom and Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear scoreboard. Yeah, Davis ranked as the #2 prospect in Wisconsin in his class by WisSports.net. D1 scholarship offers so far from Iowa State and Wisconsin. And you know there'll be plenty more coming by the time his career is over. Good drive and take through traffic. That's number 4, Nehemiah Engel. And balanced scoring for the Mustangs here tonight. 7 players have scored for the Mustangs.
Unselfish pass there, Brett, by Davis to pass it out to the wing for the open 3, but in hindsight, maybe he catches that ball right under the basket. I think you'd probably want him to go up and shoot that.
Courts with the miss.
Little Chute's done a good job boxing out on the defensive end. Hasn't given Freedom much second chance points.
Inside off the glass, good feed and a finish. That's Engel again, Nehemiah Engel, a 6'3" senior guard forward combo. Kind of a game of runs. Little Chute now with 4 straight. A lot of contact inside, trying to feed the big man in the middle of that zone. That'll be the 16th foul now for the Mustangs.
Yeah, he's definitely drawing a crowd every time the ball gets dumped into him in the low post there.
Almost, it is a steal. Watch out. Davis coming. Whoa, and slam dunk by Bryce Lamers. I thought Davis was coming in for the block and instead didn't want to pick up that 3rd foul. Backs off and Lamers with the flush.
Exactly right, Brett. I think he contests that if he doesn't already have 2 fouls.
4 points for Lamers. Mustangs looking to build off of that 6-point lead, a 6-0 run for Little Chute. Great battle here at Freedom High School. And acrobatic move. Oh, Courts, and no. Lamers thought it was his ball. It's going to stay with Little Chute. He was fighting Courts with it. The official changed his mind and stay with the Mustangs. Afa working against Courts. That's a great matchup. Pull up. Oh, rims out. That was a good shot by Afa. He kind of shakes his head. Thought that was down. Knocked away. I wonder how so we could use another guy like a stat guy, but how many turnovers has that Little Chute defense in particular caused? Or nearly caused, I should say. That's going to be a foul, so the 17th foul now against the Mustangs. Send the Irish to the line, but certainly Freedom not comfortable in that zone, Mike.
Brett, I'm operating the camera. I can't be doing all these stats too.
Yeah, why aren't you keeping stats as well? Come on. Front end of the one-on-one, and Henkel, Owen Henkel, a 6'2" freshman guard with it. And Henkel good on the pair. 21-17, Little Chute with the lead as we look at our Cellcom, Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear scoreboard. Freedom extending its pressure a bit. And now trying to force that trap in the corner. Little Chute gets the ball out, and they'll reset. Nearly a turnover. Well, it is a turnover. Courts has it. And the Irish have, watch out. Whoa! Trying to feed the alley-oop. Little Chute crowd thinking it should be going the other way. Officials are saying staying with Freedom. Nearly knocked away, or nearly, Mike, I thought that was going to be a two-handed alley-oop dunk by Davis.
They were definitely going for the highlight reel play. Nice pass there.
Yeah, nice pass from Davis to Courts, and he's fouled. He'll go to the line for the three-point play. That's, again, all that focus on Davis, and he's a willing passer, setting up Courts for the bucket. And a chance for the three-point play as Lamers picks up his second foul now. Courts with 7 points, 2 of 2 from the stripe tonight. And he's a perfect 3 of 3. He's got 8 points for the Irish. And a 3-point game, or check that, a 1-point game. Let me update the scoreboard for the Irish. And that's going to stay with Freedom. Okay, so 21-20. Little Chute with the lead as we look at our Cellcom and Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear scoreboard. So we've seen some highlights already tonight here, and it's only we still got 3 minutes and 24 seconds to play in this first half, and some near highlights as well.
Yeah, I think it's been everything we thought it would be. Maybe not as many points scored as we thought would be scored, but credit that to the defense for both teams.
Nice pass inside or on the inbounds, and Dayton Magnuson there for it. He's got 5. Well done by Little Chute to set that up. Mustangs back up by 3. Oh, tough fadeaway shot, no good by Davis. Rebound though, the Irish have it. Three-pointer is rims out. That was Vandenberg with the miss. The Mustangs have it. Vandenberg now whistled for the foul. Or check that. That's Wesolowski picks up the foul. So 5 team fouls now for Freedom. And the Mustangs are going to try to build on this 3-point lead as the clock runs here late in the first half. Tell you what, I like what Freedom's doing there a little bit, extending that defense, making it tough. Got a lot of length at the top of that defense with Davis. And then when the Mustangs get it across the timeline, they're there for the trap. And then nearly forcing a turnover.
Yeah, it's a tough decision for Little Chute. You want to take the ball at Davis, see if you can get that third foul on him, but at the same time, he's so long and strong that you risk getting your shot blocked if you take it right at him.
Double dribble is the call, turnover. Little Chute fans thought there was a foul. You got to give Davis credit, Mike. I mean, he had those 2 fouls, and he really hasn't dialed back the aggressiveness all that much either. He's still playing ball like he typically would, just playing smart. Now he's going to sit at that high post. No, now he's going to go back, work his way around to the low block. Tough shot, good. 9 points for Davis. There's a trap in the corner. Oh, yep, turnover. Courts with the interception. Courts going to try to take it by himself. And Courts with the finish. And now Freedom with the lead. Courts with, I've got him for 10. And what's the call here? I think it's against Freedom. That'll be the 6th team foul. So Wesolowski now with 2 fouls. It's intense on the floor, but now I feel like it's even dialed up in the crowd a little bit. You're starting to hear some more voices. And
yeah, both cheering sections have been into the game since the start.
Yeah.
But you're right. The last 3 or 4 minutes, it's gone up a level.
Afa, he's got a wide open three, short on that one. Davis with the rebound. Oh, nice outlet pass. Beautiful feed. And Wesolowski with the bucket. What a pass. Five players have scored for the Irish. Now bounce pass inside. And the finish for Magnuson. 7 points for Magnuson, and we have a 30-second timeout now called by Jacob Van Roy and the Mustangs. With a minute and 1 remaining in this first half. I think we all need to take a breather. Looking at the NEC schedule tonight, Mike, another big one being played as well, and that is Fox Valley Lutheran at Wrightstown. Looking at the standings, and FVL 3-1 in league play, 5-1 overall. The Tigers 3-1 and 5-2. Little Chute had a nice win over FVL back on December 13th, 58-52.
FVL hasn't really skipped a beat, Brett.
No.
They'd lost a couple of seniors off of last year's team. People thought maybe they'd take a step back, but they have not. They're off to a really good start.
Yeah, program's in good shape. The Foxes strong. Of course, you look at these top four, I think they're going to they might end up beating each other up a lot. Little Chute for Freedom, Wrightstown and FVL, 4 really solid programs. Davis, a kick out again. Oh, nice little shot fake. Courts now is going to take it. He's going to let it fly. Strong. Davis with the board. Courts again, going to take a 3, rims out. Afa with the rebound, and now with 35 seconds, will the Mustangs play for one shot? It looks like they might. Afa, no, short. Davis has it. And here come the Irish. Davis, well, I think he drew about 4 defenders there. Courts, rims out, no, 8 seconds to go. 3-pointer, oh, almost. 2 seconds left, somebody's got to shoot it. Oh, it counts! They're counting the basket by Engel. You can hear the Freedom folks, they're booing. They thought maybe the ball was in Engel's hands when the buzzer sounded. Official says count the basket, and that's how the first half ends.
I don't know. What do you think, Brett? I thought it might have been in his hand still, but
Tough to say. I mean, obviously no replay, but they're giving Engel the hoop, and that's how the first half comes to a close. Wow. Heck of a shot. Wasn't sure if the Mustangs were going to be able to get a shot off there. Engel kind of threw it up, and nothing but net. Engel with 7 points for the Mustangs. And that ends a kind of a frenetic first half. It's not a high-scoring first half like you said, but boy, a ton of action. 28-26. Mustangs with the lead as we look at our Cellcom and Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear scoreboard. Your first half thoughts, Mike? I know you're running the camera, you're busy, but there's some 2 good teams going at it right now.
yeah, it's exactly what we expected, Brett. And I think, like I said earlier, coming off a loss for both teams, I think getting back into the conference play tonight and playing, your most heated rival, this couldn't have been a better time to play each other. When you're coming off a loss, coming out of the Christmas holiday break, sometimes you're a little slow to get back into the groove of things, but you had no chance to ease into this game tonight, not against your rival. And both teams came out with defensive pressure right away and intensity. And again, a little bit low-scoring game than we might have expected. But again, I think it chalked that up to just really good defense being played by both teams, and a lot of athletes on both sides of the field, or both sides of the court.
Well, a fun first half, and we'll kind of catch our breath like everybody here. It's going to be a real fun 18 minutes here in the second half. 2-point game as Little Chute leads Freedom 28-26 as we look at our Cellcom Coonies Embroidery and Sportswear scoreboard. It gives me a chance, I guess, to kind of plug what we're doing coming up. Clubhouse Live resumed its schedule. We had a bye week, Christmas week. Packers played Monday Night Football on the 23rd of December, so we weren't going to move the shows to Christmas Eve or Christmas night. So back at it, though, this past Monday, and we're going to be back at it again Monday night. Again, Clubhouse Live takes place inside the Fox Club, which is located in Neuroscience Group Field at Fox City Stadium, Grand Chute. Home of the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers, also our home for the second straight season. Green Bay Packers wide receiver Malik Heath will be our special guest. We'll look back on the victory over the Chicago Bears, presumably, right? And then, of course, ahead to whoever the Packers are going to face. Will it be the Eagles? Will it be the Rams? Could it be maybe the Buccaneers is a possibility, I guess? More than likely going to be the Eagles unless the Cowboys can beat the Commanders, and then the Packers would be the 6th seed. Otherwise, they'll stay at the 7th with the 7th seed. But fun time of year. Stadium gates open at 5 o'clock. Show starts at 6:30. Admission is free. You don't need a ticket. First come, first seated. We've had fantastic crowds all season long. We just had Rashawn Gary on this past Monday.
Pro Bowler Rashawn Gary.
Yeah, Kenny Clark and Rashawn Gary were our anchor guests this season, and then the rest were filled by their teammates for the most part. And we had some legends on as well. LeRoy Butler, Don Mikowski was on. Some fun shows there. But, yeah, congratulations to Rashawn Gary making the Pro Bowl along with Josh Jacobs, Xavier McKinney as well. Bunch of alternates on that list. But definitely check it out. Again, it's a fun show, a free show. And if you can't make it, it's streamed live on any of our websites, Facebook pages, including Clubhouse Live and Packers News, and our USA Today Network Wisconsin YouTube channel as well.
Only a few more shows to go, right? So,
well, we'll go as far as the Packers go, so maybe they'll take us into mid-February for all we know. Who knows? But they are capable of beating a lot of teams, but as you said, Mike, we were talking about it before we went live, capable of losing right away as well. The margin is razor thin, I think, for them. It just seems like the Lions and the Vikings in particular playing at a different level right now than the Packers. They got some studs on those teams, especially look at the Vikings and all those playmakers they have. My goodness. And Sam Darnold, who would have thunk? Guy's playing like an MVP. Jared Goff, who would have thunk that back a few years ago, right? Great work by those two teams to get their quarterbacks playing at MVP-type levels.
For sure. But, yeah, if you haven't checked out the show, get out there Monday night. Even if the Packers do make a deep playoff run, there's still only a few shows left to go. So catch that show while you can this year.
Yeah, it's our 16th season, almost wrapping up our 16th season. We celebrated our 350th show a couple months ago, month and a half ago or so. And looking forward to a season 17 coming up. But that's not till August, September, so we'll worry about that when we get to it. But, yeah, definitely check it out. Again, everybody knows where Fox City Stadium is. It's free parking, as I said. Just go in there, grab some food, grab some drink, and sit back and have some fun because guys kind of let their hair out a little bit, relax, and a good time. We're going to resume also on Wednesday, this next Wednesday. Our Varsity Roundtable show is back. We've had about a month off, again, with some vacations and trying to get through the holidays, all that stuff. Don't know who Ricardo has scheduled for that show yet. I'm not going to bother him on his 50th birthday, so I know he's busy celebrating again with family and friends. That's why he's not here tonight.
50 years old,
50
Ricardo.
years old. Yeah, welcome to the club, right?
See, I look like I'm 70, but Ricardo doesn't look 50. He looks he could pass for 40.
Easy.
I mean that.
What his secret is when it comes to the fountain of youth, but he's got it. But you know what? He may look 40, but his body eventually and very quickly will tell him he's 50 because, as I've told others and I've told you, man, you hit 50 and weird stuff starts happening.
Absolutely.
What is this ache and pain? Where did this come from? What is going on here? So, but happy birthday, Ricardo. Hope you're having a good time. And Jim Rosendick not here tonight as well. He'll be back next week. We miss you, Rosie, and we look forward to seeing you again for Monday's Clubhouse Live show for the Varsity Roundtable show on Wednesday, which is on 7 o'clock. Postcrescent.com, our Facebook page, Post Crescent, and our USA Today Network Wisconsin YouTube channel. But that's our live weekly look at the Fox Valley prep sports scene. We invite guests from an area team, a local team, and we just talk about them and their season. Always a lot of fun. They always bring their teammates on as well, and they're part of the studio audience, a lot of energy, so looking forward to that. And as I said, next Friday night, our Cellcom Varsity Game of the Week live stream, Appleton North hosting Kaukauna in a boys Fox Valley Association showdown. Number 7 Appleton North, number 8 Kaukauna. Two of the top teams, not only in the state but in the FVA, should be contending with each other. I keep waiting for Oshkosh North. I know they've kind of had a little bit of a slow start, a hiccup. But man, with Xavier and Mitchell, I don't think you want to doubt that team as well. Nina's going to be in the mix. Kimberly's starting to play better ball into Freddie Owens. You knew that was going to happen as well. Those guys, a lot of those are football players, got their legs under them and kind of getting used to what Freddie Owens wants to do. So it's going to be a fun battle there in the Fox Valley Association as well. But that's our next game of the week, next Friday night. 7:15-ish range will go live for that one.
Is that a doubleheader with boys, girls that night, do you know, or is that just a boys game?
That's a good question. I don't know. But I'll have to check that out because if it is a girls game, we're going to have to get there a little bit earlier and make sure that we have our spot situated. But that should be a great boys matchup, and that'll be our first look at both of those teams as well. Our games of the week so far, we've seen Kimberly and Nina boys and girls, and then Kimberly Hortonville boys and girls, and now we had a couple weeks off, and now it's Little Chute Freedom, and then Kaukauna Appleton North. Try to do as best as we can to mix and match, and we'll have to see some after that, some girls games. Once Clubhouse Live is done too, sometimes we'll try to get 2 games in a week, since we'll have an open night. So and then there should be some great regional and sectional battles on boys and girls side as well. So we're really looking forward to settling in here for the next 5-6 weeks and seeing how these conference races shake out and what the brackets are going to look like. And who knows, we'll be on the road somewhere come sectional time.
Yeah, we've talked about it. We're blessed with great teams for boys and girls in this area, and a lot of great players as well. So it's never hard to find a good matchup to live stream. So we always try to get to a game where maybe somebody else isn't at, so we can have some exclusive broadcasts of the game. But we're not afraid to double up either. We'll go wherever the good game is. Absolutely.
Well, this was a good game here. Both teams back on the floor. A chance to run down the first half scoring for Freedom. Wazalowski with 2, Vandenberg with 3, Kortz with 10, Henkel with 2, Davis with 9. For the Mustangs, Jacob Verhagen with 2, Engel with 7, Lamers with 4, Afa with 3, Jakubik with 4, Magnuson with 7, and Trevor Verhagen with 1. Again, thanks to our sponsors, Cellcom and Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear. Cellcom is your local wireless carrier that keeps you connected to what matters most. Cellcom, it's technology with a heartbeat. Visit cellcom.com for details. And Cooney's, they have the skills and experience to customize your apparel and spread the word about your organization. Visit them online at cooney'sembroideryandsportswear.com. Little Chute with the lead. The 3-point bucket, the buzzer beater by Engel, and the Mustangs will open the second half with the ball as well. Should be a heck of a final 18 minutes here as both teams playing physical, showing their athleticism. 3 from the top, no good. Good look, though, by Jacob Verhagen. First crack at it in the second half for the Irish.
Might be more than 18 minutes, Brett. You can't discount overtime.
Oh, look at this, and an alley-oop for Davis. And how about that to start the second half? What the fans want to see here in Freedom, right? The alley-oop, two-handed flush by Davis. Kind of reminds me of those days back when Turner Botts and Kenneth Lowe for Little Chute. Lowe in particular, when it came to the dunks, it was always a highlight reel. When you watch those great Little Chute teams back, 10, 12 years ago or so.
Has it been that long since those guys were here?
Yeah.
Wow.
Time flies, right? I mean, those teams would fill gyms, and both of them playing for UW Green Bay. Excellent careers. Loose ball. Mustangs pick it up. Everybody wanted to see a Kenneth Lowe dunk, and I think that's what folks here in Freedom want to see, a Donovan Davis flush as well. 3 from the top. No good. Good box out. Courts with it. Yeah, 2011 and 2013, those teams that advanced the state for the Mustangs. Davis with the miss. Loose ball, though, picked up. And count the basket. It just got loose, and Vandenberg grabbed it, goes up, and he's fouled. Basket counts, going to the line for the three-point play. And now Jakubik picks up his third foul, the Mustangs' leading scorer with 3 fouls. And guessing he's going to have to come out of the game. He does check out. Mustangs, yeah, 2011 and 2013, they fell in the D3 state semifinals each of those 2 trips to state. Oh boy, look at how fast. Good defense though by Cal Calhoun. Thought that was going to be an easy bucket for Little Chute, but Calhoun just a blur down the floor. And Davis fouled, getting inside. He'll go to the line.
They were setting up the lob again, Brett, there, and Davis got undercut a little bit, couldn't go up for the dunk, but still had enough strength to get the shot off.
And Jacob Verhagen now with 3 fouls, so foul trouble for Little Chute. Both Jakubik and Jacob Verhagen with 3 fouls, picking those third fouls up very early here in the second half. Davis at the line looking to complete the 3-point play. And he's good.
Yeah, we talked about it in the first half, Brett, that Davis was maybe being a little too unselfish. So looks like they're coming out with definitely determined to get him the ball in good spots this half.
Yeah, Davis with 14, 5 quick points here to open this second half. And another turnover. Block, though. I think that was Afa blocking Vandenberg. Now Lamers, tough shot. Davis with the board. Look how quickly, though, in transition, Freedom getting down. You can see Davis, he grabs that board. He was really looking to pop it, but Little Chute did a nice job to get back. Davis going to let it fly. He's fouled! And a chance for a 4-point play. How about that? Jacob Van Roy wants a full timeout. It's been all Freedom here to start this second half.
You said it in the first half, Brett. It's been a game of runs for both teams, but this is the first time one team has gone on an extended run.
Yeah, you look at Davis right now, 2, 4, 7, 8 points already this half. He had 9 the first half. We're not even 3 minutes into the second half. And you're right. I think you hit the nail on the head. Maybe that was the halftime adjustment in quotes. It's like, okay, you need to be more assertive. We're going to get you the ball, and we're going to let you kind of carry us here a little bit. And Davis with that 3-point bucket fouled, so a chance at the 4-point play after this timeout. Davis, he's scored at least 16 points in every game so far this season, so he's closing in on that. He has 6 20-plus point games and 2 30-plus point games. He had a career-high 36 points in a season-opening victory over Slinger on November 30th.
One thing missing, Brett, the Freedom cheering section, they need a dunk meter. They need a big sign up that they're updating his season-long dunk totals. They got to get on that, a little dunkometer.
somebody who's watching tonight or will watch the replay will say, you know what, that's a good idea.
It is a good idea.
Well, let's see if Davis, he is 2 of 3 from the stripe so far tonight, and that rims out. Boy, Afa flying for that rebound. Let's see if the Mustangs can end this run and get a much-needed bucket here, down 8 as we look at our Cellcom Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear scoreboard. 3. Oh, nice 3-point bucket by Trevor Verhagen, Mike, as Davis was closing out. Very confident shot by Verhagen despite the 6'8" Davis coming in fast. Didn't really have to distort it, set his feet nice, beautiful form. Snapping the nets there, and that's a big bucket by Little Chute.
Yeah, you said it, Brett. They needed that to stop some of that freedom momentum.
Davis, boy. We have a jump ball that will go to Freedom. Both teams diving after loose balls. Not even a rebound is safe. I think you're kind of bringing it up the floor, and there's hands knocking things away. Davis back to the line.
Yeah, he's touched the ball, Brett, almost every trip down the court this second half.
Shooting 2, number 24, Davis.
2 free throws coming for Davis. 17. Make it 18 points, 3 of 5 from the free throw line now as I add up his totals again. Good on the pair. 19 points for Davis, 4 of 6 from the stripe. 7-point lead for Freedom as we look at our Cellcom Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear scoreboard. Bank shot, nice by Afa using the glass. You don't see kids doing that too much anymore, Mike.
No, it's a lost art.
It is.
Larry Bird, maybe the best I've ever seen at using the glass.
Tim Duncan, too.
Yeah, of course you'd say that, Mr. Spurs fan.
Got to teach Wemby to do that, right?
I think Wemby can do just about anything he wants on the court.
That guy is something. He's lived up to the hype and then some. 5 team fouls already, Mike, for Little Chute. Nothing yet for Freedom. So foul problems starting to come into play for the Mustangs as well. And that's knocked out of bounds. Going to stay with Freedom. Tough. You know, you look at Afa, great athlete, trying to box out though, and he did a good job boxing up, but just that long frame of Davis making even rebounds difficult on good box outs. 3-pointer, good. Vandenberg with a triple. That's his second triple of the night. He's got 8.
That was a deep one, Brett.
Back up to an 8-point lead for Freedom. Jakubik back in the game for the Mustangs, playing with those 3 fouls. Lamers thought maybe he was going to let it fly. Tough leader, can't get it to go, and Freedom has it. Good feed inside, just beat the pass. Davis with the bucket, 10-point lead now for Freedom, its largest of the night. Jakubik, and can't get it to fall. He's fouled going to the line. Jakubik looking to hit a pair. Going to actually be Wazalowski, should be his 3rd, yeah. Jakubek coming off a season in which he averaged 7.2 points per game, 5 rebounds per game. really come into his own nicely. Nice player for the Mustangs. He has scored in double figures in 5 games this season, had a career high, 29 points in that victory over Fox Valley Lutheran on December 13th. He was 13 of 18 shooting that night, also finished with 6 rebounds. Jakubik now with 6 points for the Mustangs.
Yeah, he's like you said, he's more than doubled his scoring average from last year to this year.
Deep three, good, nothing but net. That's the freshman Owen Henkel with a triple. He's got 5. And a steal, Courts, all by himself, up and in. Courts' first bucket of the half. He's got 12. Defense creating turnovers, creating offense. A 13-point lead now for Freedom. What a start to this second half by the Irish. Boy, that's an active defense by Freedom. I mean, they are all over the floor. Seems like there's 6 defenders down there.
Dangerous time for Little Chute, Brad. You can't let Freedom extend that lead much more.
Really impressed with that Freedom defense tonight. I mean, making things really difficult, in particular the second half, Mike. Active hands. I mean, even that near steal. Kind of getting in there, trying to dig it out a little bit. Afa going against Davis. Davis blocked it. And here comes Courts now. Up and in. Courts with the bucket. Wow. The speed too, Mike, right? I mean, up and down the floor, Freedom playing so fast. Jakubik, good hands. Going against 3 defenders. They're going to say no shot, foul on the floor.
Yeah, you said it, Brett. Anytime that dribble goes down, Freedom is reaching for the ball, get hands in the passing lanes.
And as I said, even when you think you have the rebound and you're bringing it up the floor, they're there. Jakubik using the glass on the inbounds. Another nice inbounds play. Davis spotting up for a 3-pointer. Kind of lets that hand hang. Nothing but net for Davis, who's just lighting it up right now here for the Irish, particularly in the second half. Davis now at 24 points, matching his uniform number, 15 this half. Second triple of the half as well. Shot no good. Another foul coming against the Irish.
If Davis is hitting those 3-pointers, there's not
much.
What
do you do?
You can't do anything. Again, just a sophomore too, so.
I think you spot on in what Coach Gibbons said. Get the ball in his hands and let's run everything through him and be more assertive. Exactly what he's done. He's been assertive without overdoing it. And that one rattles home. Henkel with it. A lot of 3-pointers falling for the Irish, who have busted open this game. 19-point lead with under 10 minutes to play. Remember, Little Chute was up by a pair at the half. 3 from the corner, much needed by Magnuson, and a timeout coming for the Mustangs. 10 points now for Magnuson. 30-second timeout for Little Chute. He's just a matchup problem. I mean, he can do everything, and like you said, when he's playing with that much confidence, busting through zones, right? I mean, playing that alley-oop game, but they all feed off each other so well. They play off each other so well. Like you said, it's not just a one-man team. I mean, they've got so many really nice pieces to feed him or set him up, or conversely, when the defense collapses on him, he's able to kind of kick it out and let his other teammates
you said
get some shots as well.
You said it in the first half. He's a willing passer. He certainly trusts his teammates that they're going to hit the shots if he gives them the ball. But he also knows that he needs to get his shots and he needs to get his offense, and that's what he's doing this half.
Well, it started out right. Was that an early alley-oop that sparked?
And remember, he's had 2 fouls since there was about, 12 minutes left in the first half.
Yeah.
And hasn't got another one.
Right, and as we also pointed out, he didn't dial it down.
No.
Nice job by Afa. And they're going to call Davis there. That's the 15th foul now. Davis, that'll be his 3rd.
Yeah, we jinxed him, right? Right when he said it, he picks up a 3rd.
I talk about these 2 coaches and what they've done. Andrew Gibbons, his 2nd year as Freedom head coach, 31-6 record so far in leading the Irish. That includes a 20-3 record in the Northeastern Conference. He's a native of Marquessan. Mike had a nice prep career with the Hornets. He averaged 12.6 points per game as a senior, 11.5 as a junior. Previously served in as assistant at Beaver Dam. His father, Josh, was the head coach at Marquessan back then, and he's currently the head coach at Central Wisconsin Christian. Facts about Coach Gibbons.
Yeah, I haven't asked him how old he is, Brett, but you see him down there. He doesn't look much older than the athletes he's coaching.
He's young, yeah.
Of course, this rivalry, Freedom with Coach Myron for those years, and then Little Chute with Mickey Martin for all those years. Used to seeing those guys on the sideline.
Both Hall of Famers, Wisconsin Basketball Coaches Association Hall of Fame. Gibbons led the Irish to a 23-5 record last year, 15-3 in the Northeastern Conference. FBL, the champs, at 18-0, but Freedom going all the way to the sectional finals. Mike Kiel knocked out the Irish last year. Speaking of Coaches Association Hall of Fame, I see that Dan Valentine, an inductee into the Wisconsin Basketball Coaches Association Hall of Fame. And I wanted to congratulate Dan. He led that 1990 Freedom team to the Class B state championship game. Also served on the Little Chute staff for a number of years, was the principal at Little Chute High School. Fantastic guy, great guy, and well-deserved honor for Coach Dan Valentine. Remember that Little Chute team back then? Mickey Martin, the head coach. They had John Myron, Dan Valentine, and Shane Knutson. Shane Knutson still on the staff. Shane Knutson was the Appleton West coach. Led them for a handful of years as well, led the Terrors. I think he was an assistant under Greg Hartjes during those Brian Butch years at Appleton West. So what a superstar coaching staff that was back in the day in leading those Mustangs teams to state tournament appearances. Little Chute's Jake Van Roy, I should say. Want to give him his kudos as well because he's done a nice job. He's in his 7th season already with the Mustangs. 94-60 career mark at Little Chute. Also serves as an assistant at Wrightstown prior to his current role with the Mustangs. He has guided Little Chute to a 71-40 conference record. His best season a couple seasons ago. Led the Mustangs to a 24-3 overall showing, tied for the conference title with Fox Valley Lutheran. They were both 16-2. He has led Little Chute to a winning season in 6 of his 7 seasons at the helm. So he's done a whale of a job as well for the Mustangs.
Yeah, Brett, I think both these programs are in good hands with these head coaches for sure, and not just the head coaches, but their staffs as well on the bench.
Staffs, youth programs, I think are quite well attended. Magnuson at the line. Is that a shooting foul or is that 1-1? I know it's a 17 foul. Anyway, he made the first, so he'll get, regardless, a second opportunity with it. Magnuson, good-looking player as well. Magnuson now with 12 points, 2 of 2 from the line. Yeah, seems like Jake Van Roy just got there. I can't believe it's already his 7th season. Since that 2022-23 season, Little Chute is 30-9 in the Northeastern Conference and 44-17 overall, so a lot of success in his tenure and particularly in these recent seasons. Wow. Afa with a tough pass, and whoa, almost the finish by Magnuson. Look at that outlet pass. Courts not now the wide receiver, usually the quarterback. Nice over-the-shoulder grab by Courts. 3 from the wing, no good. You know who's played? I mean, they've all played good basketball. Really impressed, Mike, with number 15, Owen Henkel, the freshman, 6'2" guard.
Yeah, he's come off the bench and give him some good minutes for sure.
Verhagen with the triple for the Mustangs. And hey, don't look now, down to an 11-point game with 6:49 to play, clock running. See if the Mustangs have one little flurry left in them to whittle this down to maybe a 2-possession game or a single possession game. Rebound, Magnuson has it. Chance to cut this deficit into single digits. So crossover, he'll go to the line though, and they're going to say no shot, but that's going to send Trevor Verhagen to the line, shooting 1-1, Mike. So a little bit of a run here for the Mustangs.
Yeah, the last 3 or 4 possessions, Freedom has taken some 3-pointers that maybe they weren't terrible shots. They were open looks, but when you have a lead like you do, maybe you want to work inside a little more, especially with the success you're having with Davis sitting down low. But they've missed a few shots in a row now, and Little Chute has capitalized.
So big free throws, particularly the front end here for Trevor Verhagen. Knock these 2 down to a 9-point game, 3-possession game, and a ton of time left with 6:27 still to go. And he hits the first. Verhagen, 5 points, 4 coming this half. And you can't get that one to fall. Davis with the board.
That one came out of his hand funny. It looked like it might have slipped a little bit when he shot it.
Courts with it. Got to mention his brother Blake, a junior, the University of Wisconsin Stevens Point men's basketball team. The 11th ranked Pointers, Mike.
Yeah, you don't have to mention him. It's just that you're a pointer yourself. So
good to see the Pointers back, though.
Any chance you can get to bring up the Pointers, you're going to do it.
Good to see them back in the rankings. 10-1 the Pointers. Yep, Blake Courts, a junior for the Pointers. And that roster also includes another former NEC standout, Josiah Butler from FBL. Seth Myron, Kimberly on that team. Jakubik going against Davis. And Jakubik with a big bucket. Look at this, an 8-point game and a timeout now coming for Freedom. And it's going to be a full timeout. Boy, you like the aggressiveness there, Mike, of Jakubik, right? Just going right after Davis, knowing Davis had those 3 fouls as well. And now you got an 8-point game with a ton of time, 5:36, kind of back to anybody's ball game.
Yeah, in a rivalry like this, you're not going to give up till the clock says 0-0. So not surprised at all that Little Chute has tried to make a run and has been successful doing it.
10 points now for Jakubik, 6 this half.
I think Freedom's just kind of gotten away from what it was doing in the first half of this second half. We saw Davis touching the ball every possession, and now the last 4 or 5 possessions or more, he hasn't seen the ball as much.
Again, we'll be back at it next Friday night. Another Cellcom Varsity Game of the Week live stream. It's a big Fox Valley Association boys matchup as Appleton North hosts Kaukauna Lightning, number 7 in this week's WisSports.net Division I State Coaches Poll. The Ghost checking in at number 8. We'll go live at approximately 7:15 at Appleton North High School.
We expect Ricardo to be back next Friday.
I hope
we
so.
expect our buddy Rosie to be back next Friday.
Definitely expecting Rosie. Ricardo, you never know.
Ricardo, you never know.
He just kind of does his own thing, right?
It's Ricardo's world. We're just part of it.
I texted him. I said, "Happy birthday, old man. Welcome to the club." And he said, "Yeah, in a few years, I'll get free coffee at McDonald's." So he's already looking forward to that. He's right.
He is right.
There's some benefits to aging. Man-to-man defense now for the Mustangs. Almost a turnover. They're going to get a foul instead. Kind of a late whistle. That's the 16th foul now against Little Chute. Is that going to be against Jakubik? That is, and that's his 4th foul. With 5:03 to play, I think you got to keep him in the game, right? Yeah. Speaking of Dan Valentine, I mentioned him. He's on the Little Chute bench, I see, right there, helping out. So, again, congratulations to Dan Valentine on his induction into the Wisconsin Basketball Coaches Association Hall of Fame. Davis still fighting. Oh, good rebound by Afa. Three-pointer, and it's rims out. I was ready to say good. That looked like it was going to go down for Engel. Pops out. Oh, it's Courts. How about that finish? Just kind of weaving his way through. He's got 16-6 this half. Here's another kid in Courts, Mike, that doesn't force the issue, does he? He just kind of picks his spots, lets the game come to him. Doesn't play in a hurry, plays fast, but not in a hurry. Smooth looking guard for the Freedom Irish. So you got 3 defenders now. Good kick out. Davis to, that was Wesolowski with the miss. Freedom somehow able to keep it. They'll reset, letting the clock run under 4. Nope, Davis going to let it fly, bounces out. Wesolowski gets it. Another opportunity for Freedom. Good help defense by Little Chute. But again, if you're Freedom, Mike, you're really in no hurry, are you? Step back though for Courts, and he buries it. Wow.
You're in no hurry unless you're a Courts who's got ice in his veins.
Boy, the little crossover kind of freed him up, and then the little step back, able to rattle it down. Drew Courts. He's got 19 points. That is his second three-point basket. So you got both of your stars, right? Davis with 24, Courts with 19. Was it Davis averaging about 24, 25 a game, and Courts about right at 20, I think.
Yeah, Courts came in at 20.1 per game.
So both hitting their averages pretty much here this game. Nice to have 2 guys averaging 20 a game.
Oh, and Courts, we saw him all during the football season. Every time a play needed to be made, he made it.
Oh, tough fadeaway by Afa, and here comes, nope, Davis. They're going to kind of walk it up the floor now with these final 3 minutes to go. Does Courts play, is he a track guy?
Baseball player,
Baseball,
I believe,
okay.
Yeah.
Kind of eyeing up some of these athletes, Mike, as we continue planning our Northeast Wisconsin High School Sports Awards show. That's going to take place sometime in the spring. We don't have a specific date. I'm assuming it's going to be at the Lambeau Field Atrium again, but guessing some of these guys on the floor are going to be invited to that.
We should have a date and a venue announcement coming up pretty soon, we think.
Good. It's always a great way to cap a fantastic high school sports season. Davis just too strong underneath. Davis now with 26 and some breathing room again for the Irish, back up 15 with a little over 2 minutes to go in this one. Boy, heck of a second half for Freedom. Heck of a second half for Davis. But 17 points this half. Well, a rematch will be interesting at Little Chute. When is that game? I've got the schedule here. That'll be February 7th at Little Chute. And Courts with another bucket. He'll go to the line for the three-point play. So Courts now with 21, looking to make it 22. Seemed like an easy 21, doesn't it? I mean, really.
Yeah, he doesn't force things, but he's not afraid to take the ball to the basket. He's not afraid to take the three-pointer when it's available, but he doesn't, like you said, he doesn't force anything.
Also a perfect 4-4 from the free throw line tonight. Little floater, good. That's Trevor Verhagen on the make. Davis, kick out, and I think Freedom content just to sort of let this clock run out. Yeah, unless there's going to be a foul here. Oh no, steal. Little spin move inside, count the basket for Magnuson. So Mustangs playing hard still with 1:03 to go.
It doesn't look like Little Chute was going to foul and put Freedom on the line and turn this into a free throw game in the last minute, but now with this potential three-point play, maybe that'll change their strategy.
Magnuson can't get it to fall. Nice bounce pass. Oh. Good defense to close out and a good decision there by Vandenberg just to kind of let it play out. Little reverse finish for Davis. So the second-ranked Irish will stay undefeated in conference play. And what happened here? Put Caden Vandenberg down. Hopefully he's all right.
Yeah, he just kind of landed awkwardly when he didn't jump real high, but he just kind of landed awkwardly on his leg there.
I hate to see this, Mike. I mean, there's 33.2 seconds to go. I
didn't see any contact, Brett. It just looked like he just didn't have his right leg under him.
Hopefully he's all right. Hopefully it's just nothing too serious, and he can get up and be all right. Hate seeing anybody get injured. He's up and walking, limping, but hopefully he's all right. Hate injuries. Hate seeing them. Doesn't matter if it's pro, whatever. I just hate it when I see somebody go down. Looks like he took a seat on the bench, Vandenberg. Hopefully he'll be all right. Court's just going to walk it up the floor here and finish this one out. Impressive second half for Freedom. A lot of firepower for this that Irish team, Mike.
Yeah, you know, Little Chute put up a good effort, Brett, but Freedom had the two best players on the court tonight with Davis and Quartz, and you're gonna win a lot of games when you go into a game with the two best players on the court.
Yeah, they did what they usually do. Davis with 28, Quartz with 22. There's the buzzer. This one is final. Freedom with the victory, 68-52 over Little Chute as we look at our Cellcom and Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear scoreboard. Gonna take some time here to add up the point totals, but get your thoughts. You kind of said it, Mike. We'll start with Freedom. Two best guys on the court. They took kind of matters into their own hands, particularly Donovan Davis in that first part of the first half. That's a tough sledding for any team. Try to slow down that two-headed monster. And, you know, I should say James Finster, the athletic director for Freedom, we were talking about Davis and Quartz yesterday when I came here for a live stream check. He said they're like Stockton and Malone. And I said, yeah, you know what? That's a good comparison, right? Quartz kind of setting up Davis a little bit, but, you know, Stockton could get his points too. You know, it wasn't just an assist guy, and you see that with Quartz tonight with those 22 points.
I didn't think of that, but that is a pretty good comparison. I think, you know, Donovan Davis was everything, you know, as advertised tonight, Brett. He was fantastic, overcame the early foul trouble. Like you said, it did not slow down his aggressiveness at all. Showed some really good outside shooting tonight as well. Showed that he's not just, you know, just a stud around the rim. He can play anywhere out on the court, and Quartz was Quartz. You know, he did his thing all night, and it was just too much for Little Chute to handle.
You know, and as for Little Chute, they're going to do some damage this year. They got some nice. That's a nice team. That's a nice team. Really impressed with how they can defend, particularly when they're playing that 2-3 zone. It's an active, athletic zone. They got guys that can get up and down the floor. Clearly, they've got athletes. They're going to win a lot of games this year, I think.
Yeah, they are. That's that's 2 losses in a row for them now, and they, like we said, they come back right away again tomorrow with a non-conference game at Sheboygan Falls.
That might be okay, though, right? To just kind of
flush this game out of their system,
right.
Exactly.
Because it stings a little bit, but hurry up and get back at it, back on the floor. But I like what they're gonna contend for the NEC title. I think Freedom, maybe gonna be tough to catch those guys. I mean, they look really, really good, but Little Chute hung with them. They had the lead at half, and be kind of interesting to see how round 2 goes and how much they can close the gap.
Absolutely. So Freedom goes to 6-0 now in the Northeastern Conference, 9-1 overall, Brett. Little Chute falls to 3-1, their first loss in conference, 5-3 overall. Up next for Little Chute, like we said, Sheboygan Falls tomorrow. Then they got Wapaka at home, and then a couple of road games at Marinette and at O'Connell Falls. So certainly games that they can take care of business there if they play their game. Up next for Freedom is at FVL. We talked about their next game at FVL. That's going to be a tough challenge for them. And then they have 4 home games in a row: Luxembourg, Casco, Wrightstown, Brilliant, and Denmark. So that'll take us almost to the end of January already. So it's getting to be before we know it, it'll be
time, right?
It'll be time to really start. For these teams to really start buckling down and think about not only securing conference championships, but getting ready for the postseason.
It's going to be fun, and we're going to have a lot of great matchups. FVA, maybe we get a little Bay action. We get Xavier in there potentially. I see some of those teams as well. Girls side is going to be fun to watch. We got to see if we can maybe get the Freedom girls on at some point, right? They're a good squad year in and year out. Problem is, it's tough. I think in the NEC. On the girls' side, they might be head and shoulders above everybody else. And
yeah, they might be. They just lost a couple nights ago to Waupun in a non-conference game, but like we said, they dominated Little Chute tonight in the first game tonight before the boys' game. But yeah, it would be nice to get the Freedom girls on once if we can, or once or twice. Certainly, if not during the regular season, once we get to the postseason and some of their games become a little more competitive.
Well, let me run down the scoring here. I had to add it up, making sure my math was good, and believe it or not, it is for a change. So for the Mustangs, Jacob Verhagen with 5, Engel with 7, Lamers with 4, Afa with 5, Jakubik with 10, Magnuson led his team with 14 points, and then Trevor Verhagen with 7. For Freedom, Wazalowski with 2, Vandenberg with 8, Kortz with 22, 12 coming in the second half, Henkel with 8, and then Davis led all scorers with 28-19 coming in the second half. And I thought that two-handed alley-oop right away in the second half was kind of the spark. Kind of said, hey, we're going to up it a little bit, and that's exactly what he did. He really took over again, like we said, the first half of the first part of that second half. Really impressive game by one of the top sophomores in the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah, and I think that was clearly that was a called play that they probably talked about it, like you said, at halftime, and they knew they were going to run that play right away coming out of the second half. They were throwing that lob to him, and it worked. It got him energized. It got his teammates energized and the crowd, and then it was pretty much all Freedom in the second half.
We'll be back at it next Friday night for a big Fox Valley Association boys basketball matchup. As I said, Appleton North hosting Kaukauna. Lightning number 7 in Division 1. Ghosts ranked 8th. Live coverage will tip off at approximately 7:15 p.m. You can access our previous Game of the Week live streams on our USA Today Network Wisconsin websites. Just go to the sports section and scroll down until you see the Watch Our Varsity Game of the Week Prep live streams link. And again, thanks to our sponsors, Cellcom and Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear. Cellcom is your local wireless carrier that keeps you connected to what matters most. Cellcom, it's technology with a heartbeat. Visit cellcom.com for details. And Cooney's, they have the skills and experience to customize your apparel and spread the word about your organization. Visit them online at Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear.com. Mike, I think now we can safely say we got through it. We need Rosie back. We need Ricardo back. But we did it.
You did it.
Yeah.
It was all you, Brett.
I just turned on the computer and hoped that the audio worked and the video was showing up, but we got through it. Good to be back for our Cellcom Varsity Game of the Week live stream, and we're going to do a whole bunch more of these before the basketball season winds down. But thanks for coming out of the bullpen and helping out once again.
Yeah, I don't mind helping out, but I much rather prefer to sit at home and watch you guys do it. But I'll help out anytime you need help.
Well, you did a great job, so appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, and for Mike and the rest of the crew with USA Today Network Wisconsin, I'm Brett Christopherson saying so long. Be sure to check us out again next Friday night. Appleton North taking on Kaukauna in a great Fox Valley Association boys basketball matchup between two of the top teams in the state of Wisconsin in Division I. Again, final score tonight as we look at our Cellcom Coonies Embroidery and Sportswear scoreboard. Freedom with the victory.